Hello,
hello, everyone. How's it going?
Going well.
Hello.
Oh, who's that?
We
Is
have
that a new voice?
guest.
Is there an extra seat at the table?
There is.
yes.
Have a seat.
Ooh, mind if I
on
join
in.
you?
Come on in.
Thank you.
We are here doing our second episode of the Keystone Podcast. My name is AJ, and I'm here with my co-host
Ken.
and we have our special guest.
Connor.
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 How do we know you, Connor? How do I know you, Connor?
Yeah, I just met
Connor,
him.
so
I just met him
just-
today,
yeah.
I just met
so-
AJ.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of AJ.
Yeah, AJ's honestly me too, man. That's
Big fan
why
of AJ.
that's why AJ's on the show.
The Lord is
I'm a big
good.
fan of AJ.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Lord is faithful.
Ken and I go back, I guess, 2 years.
Yeah,
been-
it has been 2 years,
It's
bro.
been over a year for
man.
sure because it was the
Def-
fall of 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We've collaborated on a couple of projects at school. Inside, not actually everything outside of the classroom.
Literally everything out of the classroom. Yeah.
Everything out of the classroom.
That's where true friendships are made.
That's it. That's it.
That's where the real work gets done.
Yeah.
And,
Amen.
Yeah, we met on a satellite design team, which is really cool. We designed some hardware for them and a bit of software.
Yeah,
Mostly hardware, but
and a bit of software.
and a bit of software, right?
Yeah.
That was a good time. And then we collaborated on some more projects. Like I think we did a hackathon together.
What does a hackathon mean?
Man, so it's pretty much like this nerd fest, right? So like
Don't
everyone.
use that word.
Okay. I'll take it out in post.
Nerd fest.
Just kidding.
No, it's too late.
No, honestly, a bunch of passionate tech
Savvy
heads,
dudes.
tech savvy dudes.
Yeah.
Those
are not
so unfair.
Those
Right?
are not
Okay, all right.
nerds.
How would you?
Come on.
Yeah, all right. How would you?
They're
Man, it's
beloved sons and
just
daughters
say,
of God.
Say
That's
it. Say it how it is. It's a weekend where you go there. They've got a bunch of food for you to eat.
Mad.
He
You
makes
stay
it
up.
sound so
You
fun.
stay up for like most of the weekend working on. And then, like you come up with this project. You design it, right? There are themes that you can like base your project around. If you like, sometimes it'll be based on like sustainability or security or something like that.
Oh, I thought
or
you were going to
maybe
say like Lord of the Rings.
oh.
No.
Well, but the thing is that it's also open. So if you
Yeah.
really love Lord of the Rings, you could do Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And you could be like, you know what? I love Lord of the Rings. I'd love to have like a compendium of all of the characters in it on my phone.
Yeah,
And then you'd be like, there's no app for that.
Kinda like
what's a compendium?
it's kind of like a Pokedex.
Exactly.
Lord of the
It
Rings.
would be a Pokedex. of Lord of the
Oh
Rings.
my
Yeah,
goodness,
man.
that would be
Yeah.
so wicked.
Yeah, bro.
And so then you could, and that's like a small project for like a development
Yeah.
thing. You could do that in a weekend with a small team of people, right?
Sure.
Well, how
So
many
you-
do you need?
4 people, I think you could crush
Yeah,
that.
I think 4 people.
capable people.
Yeah, 4 people with like 40 hours of like code time, 48 hours of code time. Probably.
How about if you add me to it? Would that help?
Okay,
You could def help, man, because there's so there's not only is there the
Oh, I'd give you the list of the people you should add.
yes, you need like there's the coding, right? But then there's also like filling it with the substance and then also presenting it to like a panel of judges and other
So
people,
like the
right?
salesperson.
Kind of like the pitch, yeah,
Oh,
because
the
it
pitch.
always ends in a pitch, right? And someone wins,
yeah.
and the rest lose. Just kidding. I don't think there are any losers, man.
Like you,
have to try to
you
get a
learn.
home run,
AJ,
you know?
you own a smartphone.
Yeah, I do.
You do you have apps on said smartphone?
Not as much as I used to when I
You
started
do have
Exodus.
apps.
I
You've
do.
got apps.
Yeah, some.
Okay.
Lord knows.
Okay, so then you have
Lord
you
knows.
have some experience using an application, right?
Yes.
And would you say that have you ever experienced an application and you open it and you were like, this is a really nice application?
Yeah, I guess.
Have you ever had the opposite of that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
You can never really know what's good until you've seen what's bad.
Yes, exactly right.
Amen.
So those are all like kind of design choices, right? Like, how do you make an app feel good when you get into?
But
it?
isn't it like just relative? Like if it's good for you,
You know what?
It's good for me,
Ooh.
right?
Ooh.
Like who determines that?
So design relativity. Okay. Are we
This is sounding like my
trans-
podcast.
Right, Connor, you do have a podcast, right, where you talk about design.
It's currently in.
Oh, you have a podcast
He
too?
does, yeah. It's in the works though.
It's in Google Drive only mode.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Oh, okay. Are we gonna be special guests in that one too?
Oh, I'm down. You know I love design.
Yeah.
You know I
Yo,
love design.
I
if
would
you need a
love
picture,
to have you guys on.
I don't have a good arm, but I
Yeah.
can somewhat persuade people.
The point I'm trying to say though is that whether or not you see yourself as a designer or as like maybe someone who is in like the tech space even, you have this like intuition about like what feels good to use on a mobile device, right? Because
Yes,
you're a
course.
user of it. Right?
Yeah.
And so and that's incredibly valuable to anyone to have another voice, to have another person who can help give feedback on designs. I heard you were giving some feedback on something else earlier, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, AJ, you're quite good, man. You're quite good on leading us with our Keystone Podcast official logo.
The logo,
Yeah.
Well, there was like just trying to like be docile to the Holy Spirit and how he was moving.
True.
Sometimes that's how I try to operate the best.
I def back that.
Yeah, man.
Def back that.
And so when we were trying to figure out the logo, I was just like, oh, I know that there's something there. I just don't know what it looks like. So when you started making those mock drafts, I was like, okay, I can see where you're going. And then I honestly thank you for your humility and being open to what the idea could look like. And honestly, I'm so happy with our first design for our
Thanks, man. Yeah,
Keystone
honestly,
podcast.
I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. It didn't always used to be like that. I think back in the day, I really took things personally, right? So if you hit me with that feedback probably 5 years ago,
yeah.
I would have been like, you know what? Sorry, man, not listening to you
Yeah.
because you're full of blank, and that would be it. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I'd go that far.
But did I?
full of love.
But did I
Full of
handle?
love.
But did I handle it?
I think so.
Good?
Yeah. No. I think so.
Well,
I think so.
didn't,
Yeah,
like-
yeah. No, I don't. I don't think you were too abrasive.
Mm,
So that's good. Like we always want to be charitable, right?
yeah.
Feedback is it's a like tricky thing. Hey,
Honestly, I think it is kind of like an art, man.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like helping someone grow, but
Yeah.
like, how do you
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
You know, in a way that is beneficial.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can throw feedback at you, and it's just like giving you all like things you need to fix,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, now do something with it. You're just like left with like, okay, everything I did was bad then.
Yeah.
But if someone were able to like lovingly and charitably say like, oh, you know, I really like this, but I
Yeah.
think you can improve this way, and here's a suggestion.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the best constructive ways to give feedback.
Yeah.
Even if you have a really good relationship with that person, I think it's still good to practice that, even in family.
Yeah, you know,
Right?
actually, just this past week, it's so interesting we're talking about this. Just this past week, I've been meeting up with my team. I am on Saturday. I have a cybersecurity competition that we're presenting at. Right, so this entire week we've kind of been going over our presentation, and just like I think having an affirming body language helps lift someone up. Right, because if they see that, okay, you know what, you're into it, or even if you're not into it, right, but at least if you can express that somehow.
Yeah.
They can feed off of that energy, and in most cases, from my group at least, it was a positive experience. You know, as soon as we started like nodding our head and saying, "Okay, yeah," like, kind of like
And,
understanding.
you know, the eyebrows.
Yeah, right. No, like the presenter that was up at that time was like feeling that energy and kind of moving along with it. Otherwise, it was more of like,
It's true.
Yeah,
Body language, like it's like 80% of what you actually tell someone,
yeah,
especially if you're like face to face with them.
yeah,
Like it's one thing to say words, but if your body does not like articulate what you're saying, it can kind of sometimes be like off-putting,
yeah,
right? And even eye contact. I feel like a lot of people
yeah.
aren't very good with eye contact. Is that true?
No, you know what? I think so. I think I probably struggle with it at times. I know a friend of mine. Yeah, and
Now we're all
right,
so
right
conscious
now,
of it.
all of us are so
Yeah.
so fixated on each other's eyes.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I know our friend Andre.
Yeah.
You know that guy. So Andre, he is that guy that will like stare at you or look into your eyes like as if you are the only thing in his world right now at that moment. And it's
it's so beautiful.
It's deaf beautiful, man, honestly.
And that attention to you and honestly, sometimes when I see him talking to someone and I feel like I need to tell him something like, oh, hey, like we got to go.
Yeah.
I feel really bad.
Yeah.
Because like he's giving his whole life to the person and being attentive
In
to
that
them.
conversation.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
It's
and it's
beautiful,
honestly
honestly.
a virtue.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like there's so many temptations around you and it's easy to get distracted. But if you have the virtue and you practice it,
Yeah.
it manifests in the way you act. And Andre is totally a man of virtue.
Definitely need to give that guy mad props because he has learned how to do that. and make you feel so, I don't know, like so important.
Yeah.
And we are important people, right? But he just,
Yeah. But I think also what helps is that in a way, like, you know how like apps, like nowadays, especially like social media, you know how our attention span sometimes is just
right.
so fast.
Yeah.
But I don't think he uses social media. So he doesn't get easily distracted by new stimuluses.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he can just stay like concentrating on you, I think also plays a factor.
You know what? I kind of want to ask him like, hey, Andre, have you always been like this? Have you always?
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not, right?
Probably not.
I wonder what kind of flipped that switch for him to zone it. But
it's probably Jesus.
Yeah, definitely.
It's probably Jesus.
I would suspect.
Connor's just
I would suspect.
He sounds like quite the guy.
Yeah,
He
no,
is.
Andre's.
Yeah.
Andre, actually leading into our next point here. Andre was the MC this week, and
Yes,
this
at
past
Renew.
weekend at Renew. So
The Catholic Young Adults Conference
Mhm.
that was hosted in Toronto for the first time. And I think they're kind of trying to do it annually.
Whoa.
Ken, what was your humble and meek opinion?
Man, you know what?
on Renew?
I think it was such a good first go at holding a conference like a young adult Catholic conference.
Yeah, I think they sold out.
Yeah, they sold out. So I think it was it
300 to
500?
500?
I heard 500.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was over at the Isabel Bader Theater downtown.
Mhm.
Really nice setup. They flew in. What's her name? Sarah Kroger.
Sarah Kroger.
She's a legend, I think, in the Catholic music sphere as
Yeah,
well.
she is.
And it was such a treat.
She has
to
a
see
great
her.
voice.
She does, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And
Good
the
worship
first time
leader.
we saw her, AJ was actually at SLS last year, right?
Yeah.
She was up there leading
Mhm.
worship. So it was
Yeah.
great to see her again.
Mm-hmm. And Edward Shree was there.
And Edward Shree, Dr. Ed,
Dr. Ed.
another legend.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
his own podcast too.
He does.
Ooh.
Shout out! I forgot what it's called.
I haven't listened to it yet.
I think Ed Shree podcast, something like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
What did he talk about?
What did he talk about? Good question.
He had 3 talks.
He did.
One was about moral relativism,
Ooh.
which we'll be talking about
That
later
is today's
today.
talk.
The
Yes.
second one was discipleship, I believe, like mirroring Christ. And the third one, he talked about marriage. And all 3 were really good. I attended all 3 talks. And it's not the first time I've also listened to him. Like Ken and I was able to hear him last year at SLS.
Yeah.
And he's honestly a phenomenal speaker.
Yeah.
And I've actually just started reading his book on moral relativism. And the way he did his talk is like the way the book is written. And I think that's like very unique in a way.
Yeah.
Because I don't really... The way I speak is not sometimes the way I write. But I think if I can be consistent with that, I guess I can be a good writer. I don't think I'm a good writer.
You can work on it.
Yeah. It's something that I honestly want to continue to grow in, because I also want to hopefully write blogs again. I used to write blogs, but I stopped doing it because I was shy because of my grammar.
Oh, jeez.
What did you write? What did you write about?
I would just write like little reflections on like my faith journey. And I actually looked on WordPress today.
You still have it? Is it there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh,
it's
man.
Oh my gosh,
it's,
pull it
it's
up.
hidden. It's hidden.
Oh, no.
No, it's public, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
You have to find it.
I will find it. Yeah.
But yeah,
I
so-
will Google it.
But yes, I used to write regularly. I think it was my last post was 2016 or 2015.
Okay.
You're not gonna find a posting like that. April 2015. No, what?
2015, you
There's
said?
there's no way.
I
my
can't
name's
find
there.
it.
Yeah.
I will find it. I
Don't
will find it.
worry. I know as our Andre and I continue to journey together, I think maybe doing blogs is something that we could possibly look into.
Cool.
Yeah, man. Whatever you feel called to, definitely do it.
Yeah, and also at Renew, what was I think very beautiful at the conference was that I was able to go with my younger sister. I have a great love for my younger sister. Shout out to Abby Vicente. If you're listening, you better
What
be
up?
listening. If you're not listening, no. I
Did
would
she
never.
listen to the first one?
She did.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
My family supports it.
Oh, praise God.
Yeah. They back it, so which is cool.
That's a great start.
I know. So I honestly am very grateful that I've been journeying much more intentionally with my younger sister and the faith.